Okay, let's start Python today, fundamentals of Python. Okay, since you people are new, class 11 is new, so I'm starting from very basic of Python. Okay, so now you might be wondering that why the name Python is given there. So there is nothing to surprise upon. There are many, you can say fourth generation intelligent programming, okay, there in the name of this Python is there. Then same thing is coming with Spider is there, then same thing is coming with Anaconda is there, is it? Jupyter is there. They all are working for Python only. Got it? So we are going to do Python in Python shell. Is it? A program is there that you have to install in your computer system. That also I am going to let you know little bit later on. Okay. So here you see Python. What you are going to do in Python? Python is a interpreter based high level language. Understand? Here your program will be interpreted line by line. Okay, you can write whole program, your whole program will be interpreted. You write one line of command, your one line of command can be interpreted. So you have to see here what is the structure of your Python programming here. Okay, so your Python programming consists of, you see, I'm going to show it to you. Your Python programming, you see, it consists of modules. Module means what? Main program, remember. Okay, and there can be statements here. Now what is the difference between this module and this statement here? Module means what? That if there be any functions, okay, if there be any library part you want to put in your Python shell, you can do so. And a statement, that is your define, you are going to write the statement. Okay, that statement either can be simple statement or compound statement. Right. So you remember library means, this library means what? Suppose you have to calculate square root. Right. So square root will not come in your Python shell in your program automatically. Rather, you have to go, you have to bring that math library there, and from that math library you are going to find out that square root. Where is that? So these all things later on we will learn in great details. Your topic is this one now. Yeah, simple statement and compound statement. What you are about to type in Python. Okay, what are the valid statement in Python? What are the valid characters set in Python? Is it that we are going to learn? So number first thing, you are going to write a statement in Python, and number second thing is that you are going to write operators and expressions. Suppose I am going to write here 5 plus 3. What is the meaning of this one? There is no meaning. You might be knowing that, okay, this is maths, 5 plus 3, 8 is coming. Somebody say 8, somebody say no, it is 5 plus 3. I will say that no, it is a character 5, character plus character 3. Somebody will say that no, it's a word, is it? Somebody will say it's a sentence. So different views are there. But if you are a programmer, understand, you are going to sense that what is this 5 plus 3? 5 plus 3 is nothing here. Okay, Python will not know anything like 5 plus 3. But same thing, if I am to write here, you see x is equal to 5 plus 3. You see, I am writing, that is visible on your console. I am writing something on screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
you have to go through my style of teaching, understand my style of delivering to you. Now you have to copy that, you have to learn. Okay, so you see x equal to 5 plus 3. Now Python will understand this one. Why? Because this is a valid statement in Python that it has to add 5 plus 3, and the content will go to x here. Is it okay? If I'm to write here, you see x equal to 5, you see. And if I'm to write here x equal to, I'm writing in double quote here 5. Can you tell me what is the value of x? In common language, you tell me. Both x are same or both x are different? Any idea? Anybody can say both x, I written here both x are same or both x are different? One is written inside double quote and one is written without double quote.
So they are different.
Yeah, it will be difference. Is it right? Correct. So here what the difference is there, double quote, as a programmer you should know that characters and strings are always enclosed inside double quote or single quote. It can take this one also, 5 single quote also. So they are characters. Understand? They are strings. What are strings? Strings are collection of characters in form of word, and this x equal to 5, you see. This 5 is a numeric value. that is here compound statement, you see. Okay, then we have used this plus sign, this equal to sign here. Equal to, I told, I'm telling equal to right now here. You keep a little bit patience. So these are coming as a operator. So in operator I will teach you how many different kinds of operators are there. So just now I told equal to here, you are going to read like this: x equal to 5. So is that equal to? Okay, so this is not equal to in programming language. Put in mind from today onwards, because you are learning programmers, you are going to be future programmers. This is assignment operator, always remember that. Okay, I am letting you know this is assignment operator. Let me finish this. Okay, okay. So what is that? This is assignment operator. What's the meaning of this one? This assignment operator here. I am writing here x equal to 5, and I'm writing here x equal to 5. See, two statements I'm writing here. This you are knowing in the mathematics, that x is equal to 5. Okay, but in programming language, what is that? This equal to is not equal to. This is assignment operator. From today onwards in Python, you are going to say this one as assignment operator. What it is going to do? It is going to put the value of 5 as an integer to x. What I told, right hand side, there is no left hand side, right hand side, first interpreter will go. It will carry this 5 in terms of what? Integer, and it will be placed where? In x. That's why it is known as assignment operator. But now here you see x equal to 5. This is relational operator. It is going to compare that whether the value of x is equal to 5 or not. Are you getting me what I told just now, everybody?
Sir,
Yes,
once
sir.
again.
Okay, so this is a valid statement here, understand? So let's go a little bit more ahead here. Now you see what are the Python character sets. I had shown you these all things, but what you are going to type this all, that will go as a Python valid character set. Okay, so whatever characters are coming in ASCII and whatever characters are coming in Unicode, all are valid here. Okay, nearly every character is coming under Unicode. And if you know, then in lab, you remember I had shown you how to bring in MS Word, how to bring special characters, icon of computer, icon of mouse, like that. You are going special characters, then there you are going to find out. So everything is coming under this Unicode. Okay, and in programming I will show you how to write a program to print Unicode value for something like that. See, smiley, you're knowing this smiley face, is it? You're like this way, that is also Unicode character. A particular number is there. Okay, ASCII value, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, whatever things you can do from your keyboard, character set are valid in Python. Okay, so you need to know what you can type. You can type letter A to Z, capital and small, both are valid here. And if I'm to write here x equal to 5, okay, and I'm writing here small x equal to 5, both are different statement, because Python is case sensitive. Capital case and small case, both are, these are two variables here written, I had written here. Okay, remember that. So if you are something you're writing in capital case, that should go in capital case. Something you're writing in small case, that should go in small case. Something you have typed in sentence case, that will go in sentence case, is it? See, I'm making you to explain in a very simple language. Okay, there is a different language of Python, but I'm making these all things very simple for the first time you're learning, so that you can have. Okay, then any special symbol, what you can do from your keyboard, that can go. Okay, then white spaces are there, blank space, tab, carriage written. Tab key, 8 column right you are putting, left side tab key is there, third button from the top, that tab key. Then carriage written, enter key from your keyboard, you are pressing enter key, the name is what written, carriage written. Then new line, going to new line, then form feeder, and other characters whatever available in Unicode, all are valid character set in Python. Am I clear? Now I'm going to show it to you, these all things. So let me start the Python, and then let me bring to you. Okay, this is class 12. Just now I taught class 12, so let me clear this one, and let me start Python. So how you go? Are you finding my PC? So P for
Yes,
Python
sir.
here. In school also same software I had installed. Okay, Windows 10 I had updated. Is it? So in Windows 10, how to go? Go to this start menu. Is it? And here you can search for P. Where is P? C. This is C. Then D. Like that you go down, and you can search P. So Python will be here. Okay, so you click this Python here like that, and click this IDLE Python. Okay, so I'm going to click this IDLE, integrated development learning environment. Is that? So this is going to give you environment. Now I hope you people are seeing Python.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
it is available to you. So this is Python. So this Python is known as Python shell. You see at the top, shell is written there. See, this shell is written here properly. You see, ideally shell. So shell means what? Since it is interpreter based. Okay, so whatever things you are going to write, that will be interpreted line by line. See, I'm writing here. I'm writing here 5 plus 3. Okay, 7. Done. See, line by line. I'm going to write here. You see, print. Then I am going. I'm writing here. Uh, hello CS. Is that? See, I'm going to press enter key. See, that is being printed. So each line you are going to write in form of command, and it will be printed as same. So interpreter based. Now you can run program also. You can do program also. For writing program, where to go? You have to go to the file menu here. You see, much of the things I will show you in this cell only, yeah, but still you can write program. So that same thing, see, hello CS, I am writing in program. So I will go to the file menu here. I will go to the new file. See, a new file will be opened for me. Are you getting a new page? Okay, so this
Yes,
is
sir.
asking me to write a whole a Python program, is it? So I am going to write a simple line here. I am writing a print. This is computer. You people will see carefully what I'm typing. Any spelling error, you have to respond to me simultaneously at back. Okay, so I had written only this one, print. This is computer science. Then what I'm going to do, it is asking me to run. So before running this command, it will ask me to save the file. See, save as. So I'm going to run the command here first. You see, I'm going to run. I am not saving. Run the module here, F5 key. In order to run the program directly, you press F5 key. I am going to run the module. It is asking me source must be saved. Are you getting? A file is coming. Save before run or check. So you have to
Yes,
save it
sir.
first before running. Okay, so I am going to save it. I am going to press OK, and I am going to save on the my desktop. I am writing file name here, demo. This is a demo program, is it? So I am going to save it. So when I run the program, you see the answer is coming me here. This is computer science. I run this program. Okay, and again once again I am running. See, once again I am running here. See, once again the program has run and it has printed computer science here. Concept is clear here. Interface, how to work upon. You can run each individual code here, or you
Yes,
can
sir.
type the whole program in this. Okay, by taking a new file. So I am closing this one here. I will show you in this. Now see what I'm going to type. I'm going to type here x equal to 5, and I'm writing here capital X is equal to 55. Both are same. X both are same.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Extremely
No,
no.
sir.
I'm writing
No,
here, you see print. I am writing here capital X. Okay, you see 55 is coming. So this means that it is case sensitive. Okay, now way of typing, you see, before starting anything I am just showing you print command, is it? So before printing command, assignment operator, any variable name, suppose I variable name I am taking here y is a variable name, y assignment. Now value will come this side. I am writing here 345. So meaning here is that 345 will be assigned to y. So in memory what is there? 345 is there. Okay, now what is the value of small x? 5. You just check, we have just assigned 5. So now I am going to add a sum is equal to, I am just making here x plus y. You just see, and if you go here, you see x is 5 and y is 345 here, is it? So these all things are where? These all things are there in RAM, random access memory, and from that RAM again the value will come. So what is 345 plus 5? 350. So 350 will be assigned to S, understand? And now we are going to print it out. Okay, so we are going back here and I am going to write here print. I am writing here S, you see. So what I had written here, print in bracket S I had written, you see. Okay, then I'm pressing enter key. So always we are going to use print statement. You see I am writing here print statement to print the value. Now in order to print value of a variable, you have to write the value. In order to print any content, see in double quote, I am going to write here, you see A. What is this A? Can you tell me? It's character, it's string. Okay, and you see strings are always inside, enclosed inside double quote. Meaning here is that is nothing to do with program. That is simply a printing statement, printing caption. Okay, and in your program it always be with green color. Green color means what? Only caption. How you are going to write, it will be placed exactly same. Am I clear?
Yes,
This is
sir.
clear? Okay, now you see what I'm going to write.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to write here print. Now you see multiple command. I'm going to write here computer. Okay, computer. Okay, then I put a comma here, and then again in double quote I'm writing a signs. Okay, with comma. Then I'm pressing enter key. See what is coming? Computer science is coming. Meaning here is that you can have multiple printout, multiple caption, multiple output separated by comma. Comma is working there, is it? Now if next one again I am right here, I am writing here print, then I am going writing here, I am writing a computer, then I am writing plus sign. Okay, then I am writing a signs. You see. Okay, two contents are there, two captions are there, two strings are there. Okay, two character sets are there, and I'm going to supply this plus sign. Okay, so see computer science is coming. Can you guess any difference?
So space
No space.
difference.
Yeah, exactly. See Python, very intelligent program. Understand? You are seeing a programming language which is very much ahead of fourth generation and approx going to be in fifth generation. Later on, you start working with Python. Python will understand you. Okay, you just check it out. Plus, I written plus sign. Plus means to add. Okay, see 5 plus 3 8, like that way it has added this computer and science, so no space will be given, but you see comma given. So comma means what? You are printing different values. Okay, so Python has automatically inserted one space there. Things are clear?
Yes, sir.
You can go. So
Yes, sir.
now I'm going to write here, now suppose
Yes,
I
sir.
will take a variable. I take a variable, let's suppose x equal to, I am writing here Holly, is it? And I'm going to write here y is equal to, I am writing here cross. Done. Now I want to add, so can I write here print in bracket, I will go, can I write here x plus y? Now tell me, it is going to print?
Yes, sir.
Now you
Without
see,
space.
now you have enough backup here. Some fundamentals already we have learned here, that plus sign is there. Plus is going to carry here input. So this is plus, and then it is going to have an input here. So definitely what it is going to do? It is going to see. I am going to press enter key. You see Holy Cross. Definitely it will work. And again I am going to write here print, and then I am going to write here x comma y. You see. Definitely this is going to work x plus y. So how you are going to interpret that depends upon your programming skill. Okay, everything is possible in Python. Again I'm telling, repeating you, everything. Whatever codes you are writing, whatever thing you can thought upon, you can still make it possible in Python. Okay, so now I am going back here. Next topic is coming, indentation. Is it very important aspects in Python? Okay, Python can understand everything, but you have to learn one condition of Python, that you write your code in proper indentation. What is this indentation? Again I am going in Python cell. You see my cursor is blinking. Are you getting? Are you getting
Yes,
my
sir.
last line? Last line is getting
Yes,
where my
sir.
cursor is there. So in each one you see, after this see what is this one? This is Python cell. prompt. You can say cell or you can prompt. After that one you can type your command or program. Okay, but between this cell and between your command, you see one space is coming here. You see space. Are you getting here? You see one space. Okay, so that this space, giving this space is known as indent label. That should be same everywhere. You see, you should not make any mess, otherwise it will not work. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to make it a little bit more closer. You see my cursor is blinking here. I am going to click backslash key. Is it, see, backslash? So it is not going. I'm just putting it back here. Is it, by clicking? Okay, now I start typing. My cursor is not correct. I had done some error and I start typing. See, I am typing from keyboard. It is not going. Python is not understanding anything, is it? But the same thing, if I'll go back here, I'll make the proper indent. I'll type something, see, that is coming from the keyboard. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Python itself will give you the indent label. Suppose some if condition I am writing here. See, I'm going to write here x equal to 10, and then I'm writing here y equal to 90. I had written here, and then I'm writing here. You see if, and I'm going to check a condition that x is greater than y or not, and then a colon. I will teach you this if else condition little bit later on. Only indent level I'm showing you. After this one, I'm pressing enter key. You see the cursor has not gone before the prompt, and prompt also disappeared. If you see carefully. See, prompt disappeared here. Okay, and when prompt disappeared and your cursor is blinking here. See, cursor is blinking. So Python itself has given this much of indent label that should be maintained. So I'm going to write here, you see print. I am going to write in double quote that x is greater than y, this condition. Okay, then I'm going to write here again. I'll go here else. You see else, and then again indent label. Again I had given, see that in, okay, the spelling error is coming here. So once again I'm typing here if x is greater than y. I just now I told you, just look for the spellings also. It's nothing like that you simply sit and you will get everything. No, computer science is a different branch. If you are going to miss, you are going to lose, and if you are not going to learn now, you are going to fail later. Is it? Be active, be smart. Okay, if x is greater than y, I am writing here print. I am writing here x is greater than greater than y. Okay, done. Then I am going to write here else. I'll teach you these all things. If else condition indent I am showing you. See, the cursor automatically jump to that print this indent label. Are you getting? Here I am writing here print. I'll write here that no, it is y is greater than x here. Okay, so I'm going to run the program. You see what the answer is coming, y is greater than x. So what I mean to teach you here, that indent label, you see after this colon, Python has given this indent label till here. Okay, so your next print command should have the same indent label here. If you write from here, that will become an error for Python. So you have understood indentation in Python? Okay, I'm going
Yes,
ahead a
sir.
little bit. Okay, now next one, you see now what you can type in a program. We are telling, and you remember in class I think in which class I had given a small definition of a program. That collection of character is known as command, and again collection of command known as instructions, and again collection of instruction is known as program, and again collection of program is known as software, and again collection of software is known as what is that, software suites, is it? Remember that. So that those things are gone days now, understand? Now Python is a very different. Here we can have, you see what we can do with Python. We can write commands, we can write instructions, we can write programs, but what we are going to write in that, for that we need to learn tokens. We can type tokens in Python. Okay, so what are tokens? Tokens are smallest individual unit in a program, which is known as token. So I just typed here, you see I just typed here this else, I typed here this x, I typed here this print command, I typed this here y equal to 345 and s is equal to x plus y. These all are coming under the same category, tokens here, is it? So what are there in the tokens? Keywords are there. Okay, identifiers are there, literals are there, operators are there, and delimiters are there, punctuators and delimiters are there. So one by one I am going to let you know for all, and very carefully listen to me. Okay, keywords, as the name says, keyword. What is keyword? Some sort of keys, some sort of string, some sort of words, understand, commands, which are already reserved by Python, understand, that is known as keyword. Okay, you can't use in your program. Okay, and why you can't use? See, suppose, see, I am going to show you one example here. Let's suppose I am going to write here, let's suppose def. Okay, I want to put a variable name. Def is equal to 5. I can type. Now if I will type def equal to 5, are you getting that def is coming in orange color? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the meaning of this orange color? That these are the keyword you can't use in your program. If I am going to press enter key, see, invalid syntax, error is coming. Okay, what is the meaning of this one? That this def is a keyword. Okay, I can't use in my program, so that's why this invalid syntax error is coming. So keyword should not be used by you for your customized program. Rather, if suppose I will take d is equal to 5, see, definitely this will go, this will run. So I'm going to show you the reserved keyword, okay, in Python. You will check it out. See, just a minute, let me to write. Okay, then I want to print na. Okay, let's see, print. Then I'm going to show you the whole keyword of Python. Let me see, keyword list is there. Yeah, list is there. Okay, so now you check out, guys, that this command is going to print all the keyword available here. See, these are the keyword list. So with these keywords, you will not make any variable name. This keyword you are not going to use in your program, but as a command you can use, but not for your customized command. You see, so we have written a def keyword. So is def is here somewhere, you see, just check out, def is here, keyword is there, definition. We have just used, you see, if else condition here, if else, are you getting here, if somewhere, you see, if is here, else is here. So like that way there are, how many keys are there here, how many keywords are there? Very fast, read it, count, somebody count and let me know. Yeah, hurry up.
38.
36.
36. 1 2 3 4 5
35.
6 7, yeah, 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 28 29 30. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So how many keywords are here?
Sir,
37.
that
37.
second line first C
Sir,
C is
36.
assigned with that
Sir,
one.
36.
No, it should be 35, where two time I counted something extra or what? 35
That
keywords are
sir,
there.
below false there C is assigned with assign.
Okay, this will go with this assign here now. Okay, okay, so it's not visible properly to you. I am making it visible to you now. You see. Okay, now count 35. There will be 35 keywords. Understand? Available. So remember that this you are not supposed to use in your programming, but you can use as a command. That freedom is there. Okay, so done. Next one, identifiers. So what do you mean by identifiers? See, these keywords are I given it here. Okay, see, identifier. This PDF I am going to send to your WhatsApp group, but I am going to start sending these all notes till I am not going to find out your name. If your name is appearing in all the, and in which number name is not appearing, I will remove simply. Authentication is required, so you make it possible. If I am going to get your names, I am going to send all the updated this one today only at 9 o'clock. See, Python identifier. A Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable function, class, module, and other objects. Very simple what you are writing. So these are identifier. See, you're writing the variable name, this x, this y. Okay, the variable name, this x you are defining. So those are identifiers. So from today onwards, you are not going to say variable name, but rather you are going to say as identifier. I'll say in order to add two integers and print the sum, how many variables required? That is now gone days, is it? Now that same thing I am going to say, that for addition of two integers, how many identifier required? So what you are going to say? Tell me minimum in order to add two integers, how many identifier requires?
2.
3.
So 3 for x, for y, and for z for printing sum. So for by using Python, you can make z also to go. You can print directly, is it? Okay, and if you are knowing more about Python, then no identifier required. You can write in one line program. If you are masterized, expertise in writing Python program, is it? So without any identifier, without any variable, you can still print sum of two integers. Okay, that is a discussion later on. First learn something. So that is Python identifier. It can be name of a variable, name of a function, name of a class, name of a module, name of either any object. That we will see. And some rules we have to follow. You see, uh, somebody read this one very fast, line by line. Yeah, go ahead, go from here, very fast. Go.
An identifier starts with the letter A to Z or a small a to Z or an underscore followed by 0 or more letters. Underscores are digits 0 to 9.
Okay, just a minute. Your variable name or identifier name should start with a character, right? And after character you can have a letter and numbers also, but those can go with what? Underscores. Underscores can also be there. So can I write a variable name here? Suppose I am going to write here a variable name. You see I am writing here data underscore 1. Is it correct? Data underscore 1. See, I typed, it is visible, data underscore 1.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? Yeah, is that
Yes.
correct? Because you can use underscore. Okay, but same thing I am going to write here, 1 underscore data is equal to 66. Is this correct?
No, sir.
Your name always start with a, you see error. Your name always start with a character, not with a number. Okay, that's why error is there. Can I write like this? Data space 1 is equal to 66. See,
Yes,
error
sir.
is there. You can't use
No,
space
sir.
there, na? Capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, numbers are there, and then underscore is there. You can use underscore. Can I write this one underscore data 1? Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
It can go. It is correct. Okay, this is Python. Okay, so this is the first point, that an identifier starts with a letter A to Z or a small a to Z with underscore followed by a number and something like that. Is it? Next one, read fast.
Does not allow special characters. Identifier must
Okay,
not
okay.
be a keyword of a Python.
Okay, Python does not allow any special character. Okay, an identifier must not be a keyword. So whatever keyword we have learned from here, this should not be there in your identifier. Is it? Then next, I am reading. Python is a case-sensitive language. Is it? Okay, so it is case sensitive, meaning here is that, see, roll number written here in capital case R and roll number written here small r here. Both are different variables. Understand? Okay, and some more is there here, that class name starts with an uppercase letter always, all other identifier starts with a lowercase letter. So when I teach you classes, so class name always starts with a capital case and all starts with lowercase. You can check out here. See, everything is lowercase here. Okay, but here also one exception is there, that true and false, somewhere true and false written. You just see true and false. These two are the only keyword which starts with capital T and capital F. Otherwise, all are starting with small.
Sir, none also start with capital N.
Where is none written here?
Sir, between
So
false and
between
true.
Between two, none is there. Okay, none is there, but we are using this none in terms of null value. Okay, this will be clear when I'll give some example here. So you see, false and true are the keyword which are starting with capital case. And class value it is not available here right now. Class value, you have to learn class. So see here at the top, just check it out here. Suppose, see the first one here, Python. P is capital here. Okay, so like that we are
Yes,
going to
sir.
create class. At that time you are going to put class value as a capital case number. Understand? So that you remember. Now starting an identifier with a single leading underscore indicate that an identifier is a private. I had just created a private here. Here you see this one. This is a private variable for a module. So if I ask that this underscore data one is used by some module only, so some module, some function or some program can use this data. So that you go through. Okay, now next one you see, starting an identifier with two leading underscore indicate a strong private identifier. So see, passwords and all we can create with double underscore. If the identifier also ends with two trailing underscore, the identifier is a language defined special name. There can also go here. Also I can write data one and then I can write here like this way, underscore data one and then double underscore. So this will be available when I am going to modify this Python. Is it okay? So that, see now here you see double score, you see double score, double underscore, you see. Okay, so that need not to be used by you, only simply you understand. So this is all about identifier. I hope the concept is clear. So today's discussion I am stopping till here only. Okay, we'll discuss the next thing in the next coming class.